All right. With the end of 2024, it is time for me to give you my annual update for my most read authors list. This is my most read authors for my entire life, not looking at each year, which authors that I read the most that year, but the list changes. It's really fascinating the more that I read to see how the names shift around. I encourage you to do this as a challenge or tag video, and you can set up your own rules. For my rules, I am looking at what I have marked on my Goodreads account. I am not including role-playing manuals and modules. I am not including comic books, and I'm not including children's books. This year, I am also limiting it to authors I have read 15 or more books by, which is really amazing. Last year it was 10 books or more. Before that, it was 5 books or more, but it's great to see how my reading has evolved over the years. Do you have a prediction for what my top 11 are going to be? And just spoilers, it's actually 13. Couple two-way ties here at the beginning. With no further ado, let's get into it. In 11th place, with 15 books that I have read, I've got a two-way tie. It is Chuck Palahniuk, well known for Fight Club, and Margaret Weis, who is known for the Dragonlance books. Margaret Weis usually writes with Tracy Hickman, but sometimes with Don Perrin or other authors instead. Up next, we've got 10th place. John Scalzi has moved up the list into 10th place now with 17 books that I have read. I love the Old Man's War series, highly recommend it, and he also does a good job with comedy if you like funny, absurd science fiction. In 9th place, we've got another two-way tie. It's our last two-way tie officially. We've got James S.A. Corey, which is really two authors writing under one pen name for the Expanse series and more. And then Robert Jordan from The Wheel of Time and some Conan the Barbarian books. In 8th place, we've got, with 21 books, Brando Sando, good old Brandon Sanderson. I thought that Brandon Sanderson would have jumped up the list more, but there you have it, 8th place. In 7th place, we've got R.A. Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore was the winner back in 2021 and really should have been in 2020 as well. I just was not good at counting and keeping up with my Goodreads stuff back then. R.A. Salvatore, known for the Forgotten Realms novels, especially the Legacy of the Drow series with the Drist Duwarden character. Then we get to 6th place with 24 books. It's Anne Rice. I do recommend those vampire novels and the witch novels, and they all tie together. There are also, of course, the werewolf novels and the mummy novels. In 5th place with 25 books, we've got Jim Butcher, well known for the Dresden Files, but also another fantasy series, and a lot of novella or short stories that take place in universe. And then, having moved up the list, in 4th place, we've got Agatha Christie. I was trying to get Agatha Christie up even higher on the list, but I did not manage to read an Agatha Christie novel every month last year like I thought I would. Who knows, maybe this year I can do that. Agatha Christie, of course, has the potential to end up at number 1 on the list because she wrote that many novels. That brings us to number 3 on the list. Our winner from 2022, William Shakespeare. I've read all 38 published plays and the book of poetry, which makes for 39. Number 2 is last year's winner, Alan Dean Foster, with 40 books that I have read. I love Alan Dean Foster's work. He's got his own weird sci-fi fantasy stuff that he's written, as well as all of his film adaptations. And this year's number 1 on the list should be no surprise if you were paying attention to what I've been reading. I've been expecting this author to end up at number 1. It is Stephen King with 40.5 books. That's right, 40 books that I finished, and as of the end of 2024, half of a book that I have read, which I am hoping to finish this month, which would bring it up to 41, of course. So I think the battle for the future is whether or not Stephen King will stay in this place, or whether Agatha Christie will overcome him, or maybe Brandon Sanderson or some other author at some point. Ari Salvatore has the potential to beat more than 41 books if I went back and read more of those. We will have to see what the future holds. As always, I enjoy promoting reading and literacy, and I encourage you to do the same. I believe every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.